Hello, good evening. Thank you for joining us in tonight's class. It's going to be just another wonderful class. It's been, I think this is the second week now that we've been doing this, and I believe by now we have at least acquired some skills that we can apply in real graphics design. So today I want us to go ahead and do something more professional. But before we do that, as we normally encourage, in case you have any questions, you always send via WhatsApp or via email so that we can answer those questions in our classes. So allow me to tackle a few things that people asked during the course of the week. So there is this common question. I wanted to share with you some photo. Okay. I want to share with you some photo. Okay, I don't know where I can get a photo like such so that can answer this question. All right. Okay. It's a very common mistake that I've seen. It's common amongst us, and I want to rectify that. Okay, let me check if I can get a photo that can easily explain that to us. Okay, I think this one can explain. Now, there's this common mistake. You see, now this was the back cover of a certain book. Okay, my own book. Now, the entire area or the entire artboard is supposed to be only this colored area, but if you see properly, you will notice that we still have the white borders, and yet maybe this person who designed this, even during time for clip masking, the person clip masked very well and didn't even leave any open spaces. Now I'm going to explain that at the end of this class as we're exporting our final work, so that we to see how best we can avoid that. Okay, now another thing that people asked, most of your questions were concerning Photoshop, but the good news is Photoshop classes, it's up next. We are getting done with the vector graphics, so we can directly go into what we call raster graphics. So without wasting time today, as we promised last time, we said we will be designing a poster today. So I'm going to just create a new project, and I normally prefer us starting from scratch. So let me go ahead and create a new project. I'm facing some difficulties. My computer is a little slow, or slower than usual. So just bear with me. So let's give this a name. Let's call it a poster. Okay. All right, and all right, we can just maintain all this. Let's take it an F4 of portrait orientation. Then, since this is not for printing, I'm just going to change the color mode to RGB. So we are using RGB. Let me get something so we can recreate. I don't like us starting from scratch, but it's good if we are recreating. So right, let's take this one here. Now this poster, I made it by myself some times back, and today I want us to go ahead and try to recreate this together. I want you to notice how simple it can be. So by the end of this class, or after this class, after today's class, you'll be able to go ahead and make some good money. Now, for someone who is already ready, if at all you know you're ready, I have some work for you. I'm a little fixed, and there's this client who needs this work delivered. So if you know you're ready to make some money, just hit my inbox after watching this video and do the design and get paid. Okay, so let's go ahead. We're going to try to create this. So to make it simple, I'm going to copy it and take it next to our artboard so that we can be seeing what we're doing. So I'm just going to paste it around here. Control V to paste. So let me move it sideways. Okay, let me just do that. Our intention is to create that. So first thing first, let's control the size of the artboard. Now we realize that our artboard is bigger than that, so let's just take the size. So we're going to just draw a rectangle over this, Now that rectangle is the size of the work, so that is it. So what we do, let's color our rectangle. Let's give it a color which is different from white, so that we can adjust the artboard to fit or to match. Okay, now. Right, so we just go to the artboard tool here, and we reduce the size of the artboard to that, so that we can have something good. Okay, then also this side we can just adjust it a bit. Yeah, so now you can see, you notice, you realize it's all the same. Now our intention is to create this. So first thing first, let's start with the background, and from what you're observing, you realize that the background, like real background, is this part here, this dark blue. So let's start with that. Let's make it dark. Okay, so I'm just going to select that, then I go to fill color. Then we notice that we don't see that black color, that dark blue color. So what we do is double click inside that, the color swatch, then it will open for us this. Then we can adjust while previewing. We adjust until we get the one we want. Okay, let's keep adjusting. I think yeah, I think that is it, or we can just increase it slightly. All right. Okay, yeah, so we have attained that, this dark color. Now next we can go ahead and create other layers. So I think, let me go ahead and create this layer. Okay, now that layer, okay, I'll just draw another rectangle here. Okay, something like this, and I'm going to give it a color. Okay, something like that. Now if you notice carefully, you realize that this side is light, this side is dark, so it's like a gradient. So what I'm going to do, we are going to go back to the selection tool here, then come to this tool here. This is gradient. Okay, this is a gradient tool. Then I select gradient tool while my object is still selected. Then I will click on here. Now it will give this gradient this color, but I'm interested in using a different color. So what you do, you come to this end, the first end here, double click onto it, it will open the color swatches. Then you choose the color you want. Then also you come to the other end. Now the other end, we needed the same color but a little different. So what we do, let's make it slightly darker. Okay, let's try this. Yeah, okay, that's different, a little too much. Okay, so for now, just hang in there. Okay, we're going to introduce something. I want us to create another color here. So we can pick any other color, for example this, the one which is next to it. Okay, maybe we may need that one. Let's just pick another color like this one. Then we adjust to the darker one, the darker part of the other one. Okay, we are interested in getting a color which is similar to what we just got. I think that one works for us. So we have now two colors. Yeah, so what we do, we come to this point, this first end. We said that first end is going to take this color. Okay, sorry, what's happening? Okay, sorry about that. This first end, rather, we double click and we select this first color, this one. Then the second end, we said it's going to take the next color. Now if you notice, there is a difference, it's not the same, but our interest was to make it the same. So let's go ahead and still adjust it and play around until we attain the right one. So let's just adjust this very one here. Okay, I think we made a mistake. We were supposed to just choose that, but it's okay. Let's come back here, then onto this first color is okay. Then the last one here is the one we are supposed to take, this one here. Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, if you observe carefully, it's almost the same. So you can still go ahead and adjust and work on it and make sure it's better, or what. Just a moment. All right, apologies for that. Now let's go ahead. We notice that there is also some white color down there, so let's also go ahead and do that white one. It's just a very thin line, like really thin. Okay, so actually we can use the line tool. So we use this line tool, so we just draw a line down here. I think that also works. Then we are supposed to make it white, so change the fill color to white, then just increase the stroke. Then we can pull it up, slightly up again. Yeah, now you see, ladies and gentlemen, we are continuing. Now there is a question that someone asked yesterday about how to create, these curves. So it's not a curve, like you can see this colored surface, colored layer rather. So someone was asking, how do we create these layers? They are really hard. I was like, no, relax, we're going to create it together today. So let us go ahead and create those layers. So we come to the shape tool here and we just draw an ellipse, something like that. So I think when you notice carefully, this can work. And we just change this, okay, a little bit, something like that. All right. Yeah, I think we are almost there. Okay. We can do something like that. Let's just adjust this a bit. So we just change the fill color. Sorry, we remove the stroke. Let's remove the stroke. Then under fill color, we choose this one here, the fading sky. Okay, just to make it simple, but we can always adjust. We can choose any color. Still, we go and adjust from gradient. So assuming we choose that one, then we just come to gradient. Okay, now we want to interchange. We want this color to come from this side. So what we do, this side is at 100%. So let's turn this side to 0. Then this side, which was at 0, is the one we turn it to 100%. Okay, let's turn this one to 100%. Okay. This one is not supposed to be there, so we can remove. So I think you can see we are almost there. So we can go ahead. Now we realize that from here, this surface is behind. So we're going to go to arrange, then send it backward. We repeat the same procedure by clicking control, then control. I want to show you. Now just notice this backward. This is the shortcut I'm meaning. Control, then that bracket. Okay, so that is to send backward. So I'm just going to hit that shortcut. Okay. Now if you observe carefully, you realize we are almost there, almost. So what we need to do is to copy this one and paste, because there's also another one besides it, and the next one is behind it. So I'm going to send it behind. Okay, I'll send it behind, and for it, it's a little more darker than the other one. So when I come to gradient tool, I'll make this color to be real dark. Like, that's too much. Yeah, I can take that. Now if you observe this too carefully, you realize this one was a little bit bigger from the other side. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, if you can see, I've just created this curved effect. So that's how you can easily do that. Now we also have these ones at the sides. We can also go ahead and do that. There we have something like this. Okay, and for it is again painted from the middle. So we come to gradient here, and we change from linear. Okay, let's keep it linear, but we just make sure the painting, the color is from that side. So we can add one more, this side, one of this color indicator. This side also we make sure that one it's at 0. Okay, so that we have, sorry, we are again adding more. We remove this. We have this one and the other one at 0. So we want to create this colored effect. Okay, we can do that. And we are done. So we can just adjust, or we can change from linear to radio. Okay, in any way we want. If we choose radio, we can then go ahead and bring it to the sides if it's radio. Okay, now this is not what I wanted, but let's stick with this. We can create all those effects that we were talking about. We can always create it from there, but you should not waste a lot of time, because it's all about background effect. So we are not going to waste a lot of time on background effect, but let us just go with this simple background we have used. Let's decrease the opacity of this one maybe to 60%, you know, to create all those effects that we have been talking about. You can copy and add, but let's go ahead and now design the actual word. Now I have the logo for Agape Media somewhere, so allow me to look for that logo wherever it is. Agape Media logo, it's here. So I want to go ahead and copy this logo. Okay, so the logo is without the background, so I'm going to first remove this background and take it aside so that I can have Agape Media. logo, the entire logo. I will group it. After grouping it, I press Ctrl C to copy. Then I come onto my work where I'm working from. Then I can press Ctrl V to paste, but now I'll have to resize. So I'm going to transform, then scale. Okay, then reduce, let me say 90%. Then I just press Ctrl D to continue doing that until I get what I want, assuming that's the size. Now I realize the logo is still big, so I'm going to again do it, scale it, but this time around 90% is already there. Just hit OK. So I have my logo set. Now what is next? Up next, we need to bring these words, music production. So I'm just going to type the word music, because you realize here music is one different font, production is also another one. So I'm going to type music alone. So let me just type music. Okay, and I'm going to increase the font size. Now, last time I told you guys to go ahead and download some of these fonts because you need it, you're going to use it. So just do that. Go ahead and download fonts because you are definitely going to need it. Okay, now I don't know which font is that, but let me check it out. Okay, I think I recall. I can recall that font. So let's search for it together. Okay, shouldn't be far now. I don't know whether it's this one. No. It's not the one, but I have the font. I have that font because I downloaded. So you can also go ahead and download these fonts. All of them are for free, by the way. All the fonts that I'm using currently. I rarely pay for some of the things. I pay for the good ones, good things. That's what I paid for. But things like that. So I think that font is around here. So I think it's this one. Yeah. So that is it. But if you can see, there's a difference. The other one is italic. So I'm going to look for another one. It should be this one. Okay, so let's go ahead and increase the font size to match our work. Just drag it here and put it there. There we go. Now we want to change this color to match this, so let's just go to the fill color. Now when we click there, it will not change because it's supposed to be, it's a gradient color, and we said last time if it's a gradient color, for a gradient color to show, you need to create outlines. So when you click on this color, it will not show, it will still go to black. So let's first change it. Let's create outlines. Now after creating outlines, we can now go back and click on that gradient color. It will come. But if you see from here, one side is yellow, the other side is dark red, something like that. So I'm going to follow the other procedures that I said last time. When now I want you to notice the difference. There's this one and this one. It's different. So let's go ahead and change that. So I'm going to right click, then go to ungroup. After ungrouping, I right click again, I go to release clip path. After releasing compound path rather, then again I make compound path. So after doing that, it will be the same. Now you realize this one is small, this one is small, this one is big. So let me adjust the size. Now from this point, it's no longer text. So that's the reason why it's not bringing for us the font size. So when you want to increase the font size, you need to go and scale. So transform, scale, and then let's put, let me say 105%. Then I just press Ctrl D to continue doing it. So now it brings me to another point. Someone one time asked me, I pressed something and the color disappeared. So even this one, you see the color has disappeared. What did I press? I think instead of pressing Ctrl D, I pressed D. So I'm going to press Ctrl Z to undo. Okay, now that is it. For that person who asked me, whenever you do something and the color disappears, it means you did something not in the right way. You can always undo until the step where you did it. Okay, so I think now this one is the same. I'm assuming it's the same font size. So I can go ahead and create the shadow because I'm seeing some shadow effect there. We already talked about this thing. So if it's appearing new, it means you missed some of these things. So go to effects, then stylize, then drop shadow. You can click on activated preview so that you see what you're doing. Okay. Now I'm going to reduce the blur value because the other side has no blur. Yeah, I think there it is. Okay. Then I'm going to also reduce this to that. All right, so we're almost there now. Next is the word production. So I'll go ahead and choose the selection tool, the text tool rather, and type production. Now I need to look for this font. I don't know which font that could be, but let us search for it together. Okay, friends. Let us search for it together. Okay. Let's try Metropolis. I'm not so sure, but let's try Metropolis. It looks like Metropolis. Yeah, I think it's the one. So let me try Metropolis Black. Yeah, that's it. So I'll just drag this and put it down here. So I can increase the font size slightly because it's not the same. I'm just going to increase it to 8. Now you realize this one, it has no fill color, but the stroke is white rather. So I'll go to fill, then remove the fill, no fill, then come to stroke, then put the stroke to white. Then I increase the stroke size or stroke weight until, yep. I think there. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you can see it's almost there. The difference is now small. We are trying to recreate this together, okay? Next, let us look for, although we put this photo, okay? Let's get this photo and put it. Now, this photo, I downloaded it from the internet. Please don't say it's my photo of my studio. I downloaded that particular photo, so let me check if I can get that photo somewhere. Unfortunately, I don't have that very photo, that exact photo, but we can always try to be creative enough and get something similar to it. So I'm just going to look around and see if I can get some here. Okay, let's just go slow and get these photos. Remember the website I showed you, the site I showed you for getting those photos, the stock photos, good ones, high quality stock photos. Now today, at the end of this lecture, I'm going to introduce you to another site, how to get vector materials. I'm going to use some vectors somewhere, so I'll show you where to get them. It will help you, seriously, it will save you the time. There's some things you don't need to recreate because people already did it and you just have to go and use it. For example, icons. So I'm unable to get it, so I'm just going to drag this. Okay, hold on just a moment. Okay, I think I could be, maybe it's here. If I don't get it here, then yeah, it should be in here, unless otherwise. So where are you? Okay. Yeah, it's somewhere around here. So let's just get that photo and we use it. So it's amongst these ones. Let's just see what we have. What do we have here? Okay. Yeah, I think this is the one. Unless otherwise, this should be the one. So, okay. Assuming it's the one, of which it's not the one, I'm not seeing the exact one that we used in our design. So, okay, we can just take one of those two because they speak. So we just copy, then we come to Illustrator, then we press Ctrl V. So let us scale this photo to go to transform, then scale. Let's put 90%. Okay. So what is it telling us? Scale it. Let's try 50. Okay. So we scale it big like that. Now at this point we can scale it small. Let's actually make it bigger because it's too small again. It's too small because we want it to be somewhere there. Okay. So let's try to transform scale it. Let's make it like 105%. All right. Just we are doing this together. So now, if you observe here, we have this curved effect here. So what we need to do is also to mask this photo of ours in a curve format because we need something like that. So we just go ahead and draw a curve from up here. We want this curve to take the shape of the mask we want. So it's an ellipse, not a curve. So I'm just going to do something like that. Actually, let me bring it on here so that it can match this point. Okay, I think. Okay, we are almost there. yeah, I think that is it. That's the size, or that is how it's supposed to be. So I'm just going to bring here. I'm supposed to clip mask the photo using this shape. So I'll just select the two only. Then I right click, go to make clip mask. Now this is what I have. I'm doing this. I'm just interested in this part. Now you realize the photo is actually covering the logo. So what we have to do is to send this photo behind. So I'm going to use the shortcut control, then the other brackets that I already showed you. So I'm going to do this. All right, now let's continue. You still realize that this photo is supposed to be, from this point it's supposed to go blurry. I mean, some color is supposed to come up. So what we have to do is to draw another shape here, and I think we can even use a rectangle. Let's draw a rectangle from this point, because we want from this point, we want this to start disappearing slowly. So what we're going to do is just to create what we call a gradient. So we just create a gradient color. Sorry, let's delete all this because we want only two colors. Okay, two edges. Let's bring this one this side, and then this one here. So this first side, all of them want it to be to that color, even this side to this very color. But we want to put it in a way that this side, the opacity is small, so let's put it to 0. So when the opacity is at 0, it means it will be from this side. Okay, it's fine. But we want to reverse it. We have to reverse it and take it the other side. So let's just reverse it. Now, instead of we want this side to be the one with less opacity. So what we do, we can convert. We can change it. What we call it reflecting. So we right click, then we go to transform, and we go to reflect. Reflecting vertically. It means we are just turning these things around. Now this is what happens. So what we can do, we can now drag it and bring it a little forward. I think there it's okay. So we can increase this one this side and drag it so that it can cover our photo. But we don't want it to cover the logo. So we click on the logo and we bring the logo forward I'm using my shortcut. So this is what we have. But it's also covering the photo here. So I'm going to, sorry, not the photo, this word music. So I'll also bring the word music in front. Okay. Now, the next thing is also to create the same effect we have just created here. We want to create it down here. So I'm just going to copy this. I will copy that rectangle, Control C, then Control V to paste. Then I just rotate this like this. Okay. Then I bring it down here. Now that is too much. I'm going to drag it a little bit down. Okay. Yeah, I think there it's okay. So what I will do, I will send this photo backwards. I want it to go backwards. Then after that, I'll also send this one backwards. So yeah. So ladies and gentlemen, if you can see the effect, it just come clearly. You can't easily tell that what we have just designed, we started from scratch. I mean, it's more or less the same now. The difference is very small. We shall go ahead and we cut this part. We clip mask so that we reduce on the size. But if you observe carefully, we are almost there. So ladies and gentlemen, I always don't want us to have very long class videos, but if you really want to learn how to do this the same way, just hang in there. Let us do it together. So let's proceed. We write the word mega discount. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and type mega discount. Discount, and you realize mega discount, it's smaller than that. So let's just reduce the font size to something like okay. All right, like that. It's the white in color. Okay, but there is something like a shadow. It's actually not a shadow, but it's another text layer which is in yellow color. So what we do, we just copy this, Control C, Control V, we paste. So the one at the back, we make it yellow, if that is even yellow. I think something like that. Then the front one, we drag it there, then we just put it So let's arrange them. Yeah, I think that is it. That's what we have there. We can create some shadow effect onto this, or we can use this. We can just create that's too much. Let's try 0.25. Yeah, so we have that. What else? Up to 50%. So we are moving on. Let's just draw that cycle. Now you want to maintain the aspect ratio of your cycle. A cycle is supposed to be same height, same width, so you can always come to transform, and you can adjust the width or to constrain it. So we can just make its width here to be let's say 2, also the height to be 2, so that the aspect ratio is the same width, same height. So that is it. That is it. Now we can just drag it and bring it back. We realize it's small. If we adjust from here, we shall distort it. So we go and scale, transform, go to scale, and we increase this to 105. We can add more. Okay. Then let's give it this touch of the color. So I think it's something like this. But the other side is not pure red like that. So we go to gradient color. Then we remove this first one here so that we remain with this one, with less of this, and we can make this. Actually, we can also delete that. Then we remain with this. So I think it's now the same. Now we have to write the word up to 50%. So let's start with the word up to. Up to. We change the font style. Okay. Let's go with a font, the same font, but we make it thin because I think it's thin. Then we just reduce this. Then we just drag it and drop it in there. Maybe the font is still too big. We can reduce it further. Okay. So we just center it, position it well. Then what? The next one is to write 50%. All right. So 50% is one. It's one font, so I'll just use let me use regular. I think that's regular. Okay, I'll just increase this slightly, then I'll just drag this. I think it's not black, it's this color, so I'll just change that, and let me reduce this a little bit because it looks like it's too big. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I know this is sounding like, it is taking less time. It can also take less time with you. So just, I'm doing this. I want us to do this together because it is much easier when you take your time to understand it very well. So the next time you're doing this alone, I'm sure it will be much better or much easier. So let's just try to do that, okay? Or after following this video, you can go ahead and try to recreate the same poster I have here. And if you do it very well, trust me, I have a job for you. Just waiting in this coming week, I'm going to be so fixed. And my clients here need work to be done. So once you're ready, I can just drop the work to you, and I send the payments just like that. Very interesting. That's how best you can make money in graphics. So ladies and gentlemen, you can see now I have this kind of curve. Okay, I got it. I can get that from a circle or like that. Then I remove the fill color. Then I remain with the stroke and make the stroke white. And okay, all right. I can go to this and I click on this anchor point. Then remove the anchor point that side. Yeah. Then I can adjust this anchor point. Okay, I can adjust this anchor point this side. Something like that. Very simple. That's what I did. Okay, then I'll just drag this. Sorry, that wasn't supposed to happen. I will just drag it, select it, and drag it. Okay, I'm just going to drag it and have it somewhere here. Like that. Now you realize it's supposed to be behind that, so I will just use the shortcut of arranging Control plus that open bracket. Since we are sending it behind, it should be the open bracket, so I'll just keep on clicking until it goes behind that, like that. Now next one is cutting from the other side, so I'm just going to copy the same thing, then paste it. But also to change it, I can we realize that the other one, I still go to the anchor point tool. I can remove this first anchor point, I delete it, so that I remain with that one only. Yeah, so then I can select, come here, then select this anchor point. Ladies and gentlemen, very simple. I've created that same effect that I wanted. So I can just play around with it, adjust it around. What else are we remaining with? I think the logo is supposed to come this side. Okay, now we can go ahead and write these words. We don't have a lot of time, but we could go ahead and recreate. If you try to compare, you will notice the difference is very small. In the actual sense, you get paid because of that. So I just want to show you how to do some of these things, then I show you how to get this, then we are done. The rest of the things we shall not do it now. Now I can go to rectangle tool and draw those small squares, small boxes. Okay, and paint it white or color, fill it white. Okay, that's it. I can bring this side a bit. I can give it a shadow. Okay, effects, stylize, drop shadow, make it blurry. Okay, let me use blurry of 2. Okay, now that's blurry effect is too much, so let me just remove. Okay, drop shadow, let's use 0.1. That is it, what we have just done. Okay, let me remove this, let me bring it to 0.1 also. Now I can go ahead and write this word, beats and melody, recording, blah, 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 blah. Please, if I had time, I would type all this, but I don't want the video to be too long. But I can just copy this, Control C, Control V to paste. Then I'll click and drag it to where it's supposed to be. Then for the next point, there, like that. Balance it, then another one like that, then write these words, then also this text down. I can just type other services include blah 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 blah. Now what I want to show you before we end, what I want to show you right now is how to get some of these things like the icons. Now you have seen me use these icons. I did not have the time to again start recreating this. That's the same thing I'm telling you. So I'm referring you to a website called FreePic. FreePic is a very good website. I'm going to send a description or a link in the group. You can always get this icon. So all you have to do is to type the name of the icons. For example, this one I had to type social media icons. And after typing social media icons, I want to share with you what it brought. So after typing social media icons, this is what they brought for me. Social media icons, they brought for me this social media icon set. So you can download. After downloading, and when you open, you will always see something like this. So you can see I have a combination or a set of icons here. I can choose just any I want. You don't have to waste time. So you open this one. This EPS is a format that can be edited using Illustrator. After opening it, of course, you'll have this. So let me reduce the page size. Okay, the artboard size rather. So let me balance it in the middle. So I want to remove, let me say WhatsApp. So when you click, you realize all of them are selected. So you can ungroup, first ungroup, so that when you click now this side, now also these ones are grouped together. Let's ungroup again. Now when we click here, it will come only WhatsApp. Then you Control C to copy. Then I will open the work that I'm doing. Then I paste it somewhere. There. So there I have my WhatsApp icon. I don't have time to go and again start typing all these things. So there we go. Originally designed. I mean, it is of high standard, high quality. Forget about those ones. You download its photo and just paste. But this is an artwork of those logos. So you can go ahead and bring as many as you want. You can also bring, let me say, for Facebook. Control C, let's copy it, then we take it there, Control V, let's paste it, and so on and so forth. So you can go ahead and do that. You can even resize it, you can recolor it, you can give it some feel of shadow. Okay, these are some of the things you can always play around. and make sure. Now you see I'm getting something very interesting and very beautiful here, and that is what we've been talking about. Graphics design is not really hard, but you can always play around and get good work. So if we had time, we would go ahead and do this logo, the poster the same way it is up to the end, but we realize that we don't have a lot of time and we don't want our video to be so long. So ladies and gentlemen, that marks the end of what I wanted to show you, designing a poster from scratch up to this point. So now what this calls for is creativity. You need to sketch, okay? Whenever you have work, let me say a client has come and told you know what, I need this and that, I need a poster for this event. Now you need to sketch. Now me, I'm a professional, I have designed this for long, so I just sketched in my mind. But it's advisable you get a piece of paper and sketch. You could draw a sketch, and in this sketch you could say, you could even write this word music production, so that you sketch what is going to be where. You try to plan like that. After sketching, now you come and start designing, but this time around you design it from the sketch. So that is it. Very interesting. Make sure you learn how to sketch. It will help you and it will save you the time. Now, ladies and gentlemen, without wasting time today, I want us to also have an assignment, and the assignment is the same thing I have been doing here. So I'm going to send this poster in the group. Please get this poster and try to recreate it. Okay, I'm going to task you to go to unsplash.com. I gave you that website last time. Then you download these photos. It should not be exactly the same photo, but just let it be a photo that is related to music production. Then you use that photo to design. Try to create as much similar effects as I have done here. I repeat, try to make it similar to these ones. Okay, after doing that, submit your assignment and we shall be done. Now I'm going to pause. So I'm going to request us to pause here with the vector graphics. So in our next class, we shall come back to Photoshop, that is raster graphics. There is something else I want to show you on to vector graphics, but we still need some knowledge of Photoshop. That's why we are going to pause this one here. Then we first go to Photoshop, then we do some raster graphics, then we come back and finish this because we need to use it here. What we're going to do the other side, we need to use it here. So in our next class, we shall come back and do raster graphics. That will be on Wednesday. It was supposed to be Sunday, but on Sunday we may not have time. I'm sorry, I will be fixed. But ladies and gentlemen, let us use all this time from now up to Wednesday to install Photoshop, to get used to it, to read through the notes, and also to do this assignment. So I'm giving you all this time to do the assignment and make sure you install Photoshop. Now I'm going to also send a link to our software, our next software, that's Adobe Photoshop. I'm going to, I think, let us stick to CS6. So I will send Photoshop CS6 in the group and we shall continue from that. Do the assignment, submit it via agapemediaug@gmail.com. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I remain Luke Davis from Agape Media. Have the best of your evening.